Y'all, I was 46 years old, which is the age that I am right now, when the Holy Spirit literally revealed to me, like about 3 weeks ago, that this girl that I was quote unquote friends with stole my mother's car is the same girl that did witchcraft on me, and I ended up landing in the hospital. Welcome to Receiving Related. This is your first time here. I am so glad you clicked on this video. I'm very sorry that you are not able to see me physically, but that's okay. Just put your AirPods on and listen up. Do some cleaning around the house. You know what I'm saying? If you drive and listen to it by audio, do what you got to do to listen to this one, y'all. So, my name is Tara Walker, by the way, for you all that are here for the first time. Thank you again for clicking on this video. If you are a returning subscriber and or a returning visitor, hey y'all, hey. Y'all. Now I know here lately, probably the last year or so, I have been giving you all stories and stuff that I experienced with having narcissistic relationships. But this one is a little bit different, okay? But Holy Spirit gave me the green light to go ahead and record this because he literally just gave me the revelation of it a few weeks ago. I literally just got this. When he showed me in the spirit who it was the whole time, or how I got in the hospital the whole time, I'm going to tell y'all. I was like, my mouth dropped open. It's like at this point though, I was shocked. Don't get me wrong. But then I wasn't shocked. And I'm going to tell you why. Because especially these past, I'm going to say 2.5 years, almost, yeah, about 2.5 years, the Lord has shown me so much in terms of what people did to me, showed me people's characters, showed me what I didn't realize what was going on at the time. And discern, sharpen my discernment of people, just gave me revelation about some that it's second nature now. You know what I'm saying? It's like when he reveals somebody else, I'm like, dang, them too, God, them too. But this one, that's why I said I was shocked, but I wasn't shocked because I'm shocked because I don't know why he waited so long to reveal it to me, to show me. Well, no, that's not true. I do know why. It's because of my maturity level now in Christ. You know what I'm saying? He knew now I could be able to handle it better versus back then. But when I say I'm not shocked, it's because, like I said, of how much I'm saying, how much he has revealed to me about people. And the betrayal, you know what I'm saying, the people that I was loyal to that wasn't loyal to me, you know what I'm saying, all that type of stuff. So now let me just get into the story, right, y'all? So this was 1999. I know exactly the year and everything because my mom bought, when I was a senior in high school, this is in my book, by the way, too. Let me shameless plug. Let me plug that in there. If you are new to this channel, I do have a book that is my memoir. It's called Cage Girl, and it's available on Amazon. Cage Girl by Tara L. Walker. But I knew this year because I was still driving my mom's car. Okay, so my senior year, which was 1997. Whew. Yep, 1997. My mother bought a brand new Honda Accord, and that used to be her favorite car back then. A favorite inexpensive type of car. Her favorite car is I think it's an Audi. It's either an Audi or a Volvo. I think it's an Audi. But anyway, her non-expensive favorite car was a Honda Accord. And so she bought the Honda Accord and gave me her old Honda. I used to have a Honda hatchback. Um, and that's what I drove, right? But a couple years later, I still hadn't gotten I did get a brand new car that year too, 99. But this at this point I hadn't had the car yet. I didn't have the car yet. And yeah, so I was saving for it. Yeah, had a job and everything. I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I was saving for my car. Okay, so now me and her, we met in high school, right? She was a year behind me, but for whatever reason, she chose to be my friend, or so I thought, right? And we still kept in touch. Out of she put me through some stuff, but I was so I don't want to say naive. I was just I trust the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? I trust the wrong people, which I'm sure many of you did too. Trust the wrong quote unquote friendships. You know what I'm saying? And but you still kept being that person's friend, right? Even when you seen them do stuff like, I know a lot of people can relate to what I'm saying. Even when you see them do a lot of shady stuff or whatever, you still decide to keep being this person's friend. So that's what happened. And after high school, we still remain friends. And she decided she wanted to go over. Okay, so she knew this one dude, this heavy set dude. She knew him. I didn't know him like that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And she said that I guess they talked about hooking up, coming over and just hanging out or whatever. And she wanted me to go with her. And I was like, because she was like, his friends was going to be there too. And I was like, all right, boom, sure, let's go. Of course, I'm the driver, right? Now, at this time, remember I said I'm saving for my car, so I don't have my own car yet. I'm sorry. I did say I had the Hyundai by this time. Remember I said I got the Hyundai in '97 when I was my senior year, but by '99 it had just conked, like just it wasn't drivable anymore. So my mother was allowing me to borrow her car, and so because it's 2 years old now, so it's not that brand new, you know what I'm saying? But and I had my license for I don't know about 3 years or so now. So she would let me borrow. So I borrowed her car, and picked up the person, the girl, because she ain't had no car, and we went over to the dude's house. So dude was there, and then another friend of his was there, and then I think a roommate or a brother. Now this is a long time ago, y'all, so I'm trying to remember as I'm talking. I think a roommate or brother came later on, but no, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah. Came in a little bit later. Now, first we all just, we chilling, kicking the bobo, and laughing and giggling and everything like that. And I'm gonna be transparent, so please, if your children are around, make sure they're not in earshot, okay? Because I'm gonna be talking grown up talk right here. Some things led to another, and me and one of the friends, we was making out on the couch, and um um the one that came in later, you know what I'm saying? He was like, because the house, the dude, the big guy, the house, whose house it was or whatever, I wasn't attracted to him anyway. But that was her friend, so I just figured, you know what I'm saying, they'd be, do they make out or whatever. But and this never happens to me. Usually, I'm not the. Usually back then, I was the friend of the pretty girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? That they didn't want like the chunky or the chubby girl. They wanted the pretty slim girlfriend or whatever. But she was chubby just like me. But for whatever reason they took, I don't know, attraction to me, and an attraction to me, excuse me. And please believe me when I'm saying this. I'm not saying this as if I'm like this was a good thing, because it wasn't. Because honestly, to be 100% honest with you, I think they wanted to have like a threesome or something like that. You know what I'm saying, or some type of gangbang type thing. But your girl wasn't down for all that. Number one, I'm gonna say this too. Okay, so make sure. Okay, hope you're not eating or whatever too. I was on, and I'm not saying this because this is the reason why I didn't, okay? But I'm glad that I was, okay? But I was on my cycle, okay? But that's not the reason why I didn't do the threesome type of thing. I just wasn't down for all that back then. You know what I'm saying? If I wasn't, it wouldn't have happened. Just the making out was enough for me. So what happened was, when the other guy came home a little bit, like I said, he was the roommate or the brother. When he came home a little bit later, he sat down beside me, and then we all just, again, we start talking and laughing and kicking the bobo again, and then he started making out with me. So I mean, put your thinking cap together. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to go into too much details, but basically, one was on my left making out with me, and one was on the right making out with me. Making out with me, and okay. So at this time, while that was happening, my friend was sitting across in the chair, and I was into them both. You see what I'm saying? Being transparent. So I couldn't really. I seen like a slight little. I had a slight little glance at her, but it was like real quick. But as I'm thinking about it, as I'm recording this, I do think I seen a slight little. Like somebody had like a little look on their face, like they jealous or whatever. But I was so caught up in the, you know what I'm saying, in the making out with them both or whatever. Um, I guess I just dismissed it. Plus, like I said, remember the dude's house it was, she was talking and stuff with him. So I ain't really, think about it or whatever too much. Like I said, I was caught up in what I was doing. So she asked me while I was making out with the guys that I was making out with. She asked me if she could go sit in the car or go get something out the car or something happened to do with the car. Now, let me go back. The way I don't know if anybody remembers this. This was a long time ago, but the way my mother's car was, the way they designed her car back then, of course it wasn't keyless. It wasn't keyless entry yet, right? But she had this, it was this little contraption. Okay, so you had a key, right? The key has a cord on the key. On the other end of the cord was this like little piece that you plug in. So the only way you could drive my car, the only way you could drive my mother's car is if that piece on the end of the cord, which was on the opposite side of the key, was plugged into that little contraption that's down by the window. I don't know if anybody else know what I'm talking about, but this is how my mother's car, she got her car. She got them to put that on her car so that also so they wouldn't be easy, because people still Honda Accords like it wasn't nothing back then. But so she got her, got that made like that so it wouldn't be, so you have to have that piece in order to start my mother's car. It wasn't that easy to be able to start her car, right? So even though it was the first time that I picked her up in that car, I know for a fact that she watched me, when I picked her up and I started the car and I had to push the thing in there. I know she watched me do that. Now I'm not going to sit up here and lie. I don't know if she asked me what it was or how. I don't even know. I don't know, but I know for a fact she watched me because I seen her out my peripheral vision, right? So keep that in mind. So now going back to when we in the house and I'm making out with dudes. Like I told you, the one on the left and one on the right, and she asked me, could she, like I said, she asked me, could she get something out the car? Could she go in the car? Something, right? And I was like, yeah. And so I went in my purse, and no, I said the key in the purse, my purse or whatever. So she went in my purse, got the keys. Y'all, about like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes left. Oh, because one of them, the one who lived there that showed up late, he was trying to get me to go and have sex with him. He kept on. He was like, he kept on trying to get me to lure me in his bedroom. He was like, come on, let's go in there. And I was like, nah. Because like I said, you know what I'm saying? I had just met all of them. I wasn't on that type of thing. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, nah. And then finally he gave up begging me to come, and he left and went in his own room. The other dude who house it was, I think he left and went upstairs or something like that too. So then it just happened, it just ended up being me and the one guy who was he was Hispanic. I don't remember his name, but I think he was Hispanic, Puerto Rican, or something like that. But he wasn't, you know what I'm saying, he wasn't African American, but that's neither here nor there. But so it was just me and him. So after a while, you know what I'm saying, after that, that's when I realized she wasn't in no more. And then I was like, hold on. She said she was gonna go see. He was like, oh yeah, your homegirl, where your homegirl at? I was like, yeah, she said she was going. So we went to go look out the window, y'all. My mother car was gone. I said, she stole my mother's car. When I tell you, y'all, listen. And remember how I said in the beginning how we keep them friends that did shady stuff before, but you just keep, and this wouldn't stop. Okay, this would, I end up doing this years and years later with other friendships, still keeping them friendships that would do shady stuff, you know what I'm saying, but still remain a friend. But this right here was, it's one thing to do some, I have a especially about my husband now. I have a very very strong problem with people doing anybody that's close to me wrong, right? And so you can do stuff to me and it be wrong, and it is wrong, okay? But people that I know that's ain't did nothing to nobody that's close to me, that's why I feel that way so strongly about my husband, because I know he don't mess with nobody. So I don't allow people to come for my husband. Now, even though my mother and I ain't had the greatest relationship or whatever, but she's still my mama. You understand what I'm saying? So that thing hit different. You know, I was like, this my. It wasn't even the fact that the car was just 2 years old. It was the fact that it was my mama's car. You know what I'm saying? Not mine, my mom's. So of course, I'm calling her and stuff like that. Of course, she ain't answering the phone or nothing. Of course, but I'm a hand it to homeboy. He ain't know me from a can of paint. I ain't know him from a can of paint. But he stayed with me for hours, waiting on her to come back. He stayed with me because I was too. Of course, I was too scared to call my mother. Right? I was too scared to call my mother and tell her. So but he stayed with me. I mean, I'm talking about till the sun came up. Um, Stayed with me hours and hours and hours. You know, because I was like, well, maybe she gonna come back. Maybe she gonna come back. Of course, she ain't come back. So finally, I believe I called her mother because I was trying to figure out like how did I get out of there. I did. I called her mother and I told her what happened, and her mother came to pick me up. Then let's see how it happened. Um, yeah, her mother came to pick me up. And then I'm sorry for the pause, y'all, because I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think as I'm telling this. Because I ain't thought about this story in so long. This is, like I said, this was 1999. This is 2026. I believe she finally came back. She eventually she came back with the car, right? But I'm just trying to remember if um if she brought it back to her mom's house. I think so, cause I still hadn't gotten. And mind you, oh, I forgot to tell you, mind you, my mother calling me. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. It wasn't even no cell phones back then. Yup, there wasn't even no cell phones. So that's right. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I couldn't have been calling her because we ain't had no cell phones back then. This was 99. Um, Pages we had though, but I can't remember if she had one or not. I don't remember that. Okay, so scratch that calling part out. That's right. We had cell phones, but and the reason why I just remember that is because I had a pager, and my mother was paging me. She was paging me. I don't think I had my first cell phone until I got my pager my senior year in high school. My father put me on his plan, but I don't think I got my first cell phone until like the year 2000 or something like that. I think. So, but anyway, I knew, you know what I'm saying, back when you used house phones back then, you knew people, and if you talk to somebody a lot, you knew their number by heart. So that's how I was able to reach her mother at her house. But I think she did bring it back. I think she brought it back to her mother's house, or even we met up somewhere. That might have been what it is. We might have met up somewhere, but then she would have had the pager. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I can't remember that part. But nonetheless, we got the car back. Now the car was fine. Thank you, Jesus. Not a dent or nothing in scratch. But her mom insisted that we take it to the gas station, fill the tank up, and clean the car out. And that's exactly what her mom did. She cleaned the car out, um, gassed it up and everything, and then told me that she said, I know this not right. She said, I know my daughter though, and she basically was telling me she do the dumbest stuff, do the craziest stuff, but I'm not even going to take up for her this time. And she told me to my face, she said, if your mother wants to press charges, I am fine with that. And I just was like, oh, I don't know. I said, I don't know what she's going to do. I'm just thankful that the car is back. It's fine and everything. She said, I know. She said, but I'm going to go with you. I'm going to pick her up. And we all going to go together back to your mother's house to tell her everything that happened. I'm going with y'all. I said, okay. And actually, that made me that made me feel a little better that she was walking in there with me. So I went, even though I was grown, but still, you know what I'm saying? Because my mother, she was trying to reach me all night. So I know she worried, you know what I'm saying? Because my mother worried more anyway. So I know she worried out her mind. So we get home, and I'm sorry, I get home, and I walk in the door. The way I used to come in through the garage, and you had to walk down the hallway to get like towards the kitchen. So I seen her and my father sitting there at the table, and I was like, yeah, they definitely was waiting on me. But then my mother looked at me, was like, Tara, where you been? And then she seen her behind me, and she was looking. My mother looked real confused or whatever. And then I think my dad went upstairs. I think he went upstairs because it was just me, my mother, and her mother, and the girl. And so we all sitting at the table, and then her mother explains everything. Now, y'all, this is the craziest thing. I'm sitting at the table with all of them, and I look over at her, and she looks back at me with this smirk on her face. I could not believe she was smiling, like as if this was a game. Like she thought I was supposed to be smiling back, like we supposed to be just like kikiing about this whole thing. Nigga, excuse me, y'all. Okay, hopefully I don't offend nobody, but that's how I felt at the time. The audacity. Like I said before, it's one thing to do something to me. But you stole my mama's car, dog. You thought I was going to be laughing and kicking with you? I'm so sorry. What planet did you think this was on? Did you think you on? And honestly, the smirk or whatever looked, as I'm thinking about it, talking to y'all, it looked demonic, to be honest with you. So anyway, the mother tells my mother the same thing she told me, and said, Miss Wells, if you want to press charge, you have my 100% back up with it. I 100% approve. And my mother was like, nah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I won't need to do all that or whatever. The lady was adamant. She was like, you sure? And my mother was like, she was like, you sure? Because I'm telling you, it's okay if you do. And my mother was like, no, there's no need. The car is safe. She's safe. Everybody's okay. And everything like that. So the lady was like, okay. So I walked them outside. So we go back down, like I said, back down the hallway through the garage, and we go outside. And I forgot what she said. She said, like I said, remember I said she had the smirk on her face. So when we get outside, she still wanted to kiki with me. And she said something. And when she looked at me and she saw I ain't had no smile, then, because this is what narcissists do, right? Remember, the narcissists ain't just males, okay? It's a spirit. It don't got no gender. When she saw that I wasn't laughing, that's when she ended up turning around, and then now she pissed off or whatever. She back to being mad again. So basically, long story short, what happened was she stole my mother's car because she was jealous because none of the guys was paying attention to her. Now, like I told y'all before, that never happened to me. That when I was usually the one sitting in her spot, you know what I'm saying, with the pretty girl, whatever. And not that I was in a situation before where somebody was making out with two guys, whatever, nothing like that. But I had always been in a situation prior to that where I'm I guess like a third wheel type thing, you know what I'm saying. The guy's not into me, they into the front. So this was all new to me. And I was full of lust back then, okay. I was saved, but I was filled full of lust. So I was excited that, okay, I was reading text messages from my husband. He just pulled up to work. I was excited that I'm being paid attention to. You see what I'm saying? I got caught up, basically. So she was jealous that was happening, and she stole my mother's car. As a result, she stole my mother's car. I don't know where she went or whatever, but I ain't even asked. I was just glad that the car was back okay. And so I tell, I don't know if it probably was that same day. Excuse me, it probably was that same day, yeah, because we got back in the morning time. So I call another quote unquote friend, a mutual friend, should I say, and tell them about what happened. They call the girl and bomb, and I know that because they told me. They called me back and told me. They called the girl and bombed the girl out, and about what she did and whatever, was like, no, 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 you don't do that, you don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Blah 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 woo woo. So the girl who stole my car called me back. But back then, y'all, I had a phone line in my room, and I had what's called an answering machine, in case any of you youngers don't know what that is. Anybody listening, you young, you'll know what that is. And so when she called, I didn't answer the phone. I let the machine pick it up. Because, I mean, why you calling me? Right? Now, from what I understand, because after she called me, she called back the mutual friend and told the mutual friend what she said to me on the answering machine. To this day, I don't know what she said. Because as soon as I hit play and heard her voice, her condescending tone, I immediately hit delete. Because why am I sit there and listen to you call yourself trying to comfort me or whatever? Why am I sit there and listen to that? So I deleted it. So when I called the mutual friend back to tell her, no, the mutual friend called me back and said, such and such told me she called you and she said all this, that, and that. I said, I don't know what she said because I deleted it. Now, the funny thing is, I had to tell her this like 3 times for it to stick. Why I had to keep repeating myself and saying, I don't know what she said, because I deleted it. She kept repeating. She said, yeah, she said she called you. And I kept cutting her off. I said, because I didn't even want her to tell me what she said. You see what I'm saying? I ain't want to get riled up even more than what I was. I just knew at that point her friendship was dead to me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what she said. Because I know when she called me back, what it was when she called me to leave the message that she called me to leave me, she was mad at me for telling the mutual friend what happened. So she called herself calling me back, going on me, because I told the mutual friend what happened. But like I said, to this day, I don't know what she said. I hit delete as soon as I heard her condescending tone. So I'm trying to tell the mutual friend that, and like I said, I had to repeat myself like three times before she finally heard me say, oh, okay, oh, okay. And so now, so that happened. She stole my car. So we not talking. Then she gets this other girl. The girl was a trip. May she rest in peace now. The other girl that she got that called me on the 3-way. And the other girl went to I went to 2 high schools. So the other girl went to the high school that I went to my 9th and 10th grade year. Excuse me. They knew each other. She got her to call me. Then she called herself trying to get her to call me and bomb me out too. And I hit the delete button. I don't know what they said on that either, right? You see what I'm saying? So now she try to, like, you know what I'm saying? So she's in the wrong 1,000,000,000,000%. But instead of her taking full accountability of what she did, she got people, you know what I'm saying? She trying to get people to bully, you know what I'm saying? Gang up on me and bully me. I was like, man, this girl don't know who she Now, I'm nice, okay? But I ain't that nice. So now she trying to get people on my side. Then I don't know what she said to her mother. But her mother calls me back. I'm going to make this a 2-part, y'all, so this won't be too long. So then her mother calls me back, and I still didn't pick up the phone. I didn't want nothing to do with none of them no more, right? And now I listened to her mother message, not the whole thing, but up until this one part. So her mother says, well, I was talking to such, I almost said her name. I was talking to such and such. And she told me that you let her know that you was on your cycle that night. And I hit delete. Because I said, okay, so why are we talking about when I was on my cycle? What does that have to do with? I don't care. And I ain't trying to be graphic, y'all. But I don't care if the stuff was running through my clothes and you can literally see it like I'm parting the Red Sea. What justification is that of you still in my mother's vehicle? I don't care, and I was right, but it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? She stole my mother's car, so the only thing that I could come up with was she was trying to justify her case and probably trying to probably lied on me and saying that, you know what I'm saying, I did something with them on my cycle, whatever. I don't know, but I never called her mother back. I deleted the message, and that was the last phone call that I got from that situation. But let's talk about what happened as a result to it, okay? And I'm gonna come back from part 2. All right. If you are not a subscriber, I would encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. I have other playlists with other stories on here, other story times on here. Because people receive when they can relate. And let me know in the comments if you can relate to something like this. Did you have a friend that stole your mother's car or something else? It may not be a car, but just something else valuable to you, but you beforehand you seen shadiness from them, but you still kept them as a friend. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments. And I'm gonna see y'all on the next. I'm gonna talk to y'all on the next video. I'm trying to make sure I remember everything. Oh, remember, people receive when they can relate. Tell your story, okay? Tell your story. Tell your testimony. Whatever the case may be, because there's always somebody out there who needs your voice because they need to know that they're not alone. Okay, let me know in the comments if you can relate to this video. And I love you, but know that God loves you so much more. Meet me on part 2. All right.